Hey gang, Sean from The Good Dog. How are you? So this is just a little follow-up actually on what we were talking about. Remember, I put up a post talking about guess who wants to take your tools, and that was primarily aimed at dog owners because I wanted them to be aware that you know this isn't a dog trainer specific thing. Like, yes, dog trainers will be affected, but largely the the biggest people impacted, or the population most impacted, will be dog owners and their dogs who aren't able to use tools that most empower them or help them have a better dog, or help them take their dog in spaces where they've got more freedom or feel more safe or more reliable with their dog. And so I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but Toronto just banned any use of prong or choke chains, prong collars or choke chain collars on dogs, period. If I've got all my information correct. And I tried to double check it before I got on here so I wouldn't look like a baboon and misquote anything. But on Reddit, it was just giving like a bit of a breakdown on the actual passing of the laws and the actual. I'll probably put it in the comments so you can actually see some of the writing. But anyways, it's just a really good reminder, guys. Like, when I'm talking about this stuff about people wanting to take your tools, wanting to change what you're able to, how you're able to train your dog, what tools you're able to use to train your dog, and that it's not just some kind of dramatic dog trainer stuff, dog trainer drama going on. It's reality, and it's happening, in more places and more places. And it's been, I think, what we've got Australia, Wales, UK's heavy duty against it and working towards it, but it's not banned there except for in Wales. Australia, I'm not sure if it's just certain portions, but I know definitely certain portions of Australia have bans in effect. I'm almost positive. I wish I had the whole breakdown. You guys will have to do some Google work. You'll have to do some searching yourself. But basically, I just wanted you to see how quick it happens. So if you're an owner and you live in Toronto and you've got a dog that you've been using a prong collar on, and it's been like the saving grace for like walking your big dog nicely, or your small bratty dog and getting great stuff. Say you're an older, an elderly woman with a big dog, and the dog's great, except on walks it's dangerous for you to try and like actually control the dog. And the prong collar's been like a huge breakthrough for you. You don't have that option anymore. It's gone. It's off the table. So now you have to look for alternatives. You'll have to look for, what they will allow will be harnesses, flat buckle collars, probably I don't know if martingales fall under choke in their thing, even though they're limited. And then any kind of like head harnesses like halties and gentle leaders and things like that. So those will be your options. As quick as that. If you like, it's one thing to talk about like banning tools. It's another thing to put yourself in somebody's shoes, like in a real sense. Imagine being an actual person living in Toronto with a dog who the prong collar has been like a breakthrough tool and has helped you get your dog into a great space, and then you wake up to the news that you're no longer allowed to use that tool with your dog. Like, done. You got to throw it out. You got to get rid of it. If you get caught with it, I don't know what the penalties are. I don't know if they're fines. I don't know if you get arrested. I don't know how deep and how far that goes. But there it is. So if you are that person who has that dog and you're using that tool, now you're stuck. Now you're toast. Now you've got to find a new way. If your prong collar's been your answer, you don't have your answer anymore. So now you got to go find a new answer, and you better hope there's an answer that works. Some dogs, head halters, halties, gentle leaders, and things like that can work for some dogs. Some dogs will fight them like mad forever. Some dogs, my biggest issue with them, and some people might disagree, is that it tends to be more of a restrictive device rather than a training device that the dog typically learns to, yes, you can use pressure and release like you can on a prong collar, and trainers don't get your panties all in a bunch and be like, you can use all, like, I'm not saying you can't use halties and gentle leaders and things like that. You definitely can, and you can train a dog on them. But I think for the average owner, what you're gonna get much more so is just kind of like, just restraint. They'll have more control and more leverage, which is better than a harness or better than a regular collar. But I don't think most of them will get the same ability to interact and have a conversation with their dog about, like, I like this, I don't like this. So it's one thing to stop pulling. It's another thing to like deal with like reactivity, or, you know, like having the dog feel like it has a more direct link to its owner, which is one of the cool things about the prong collar. So if your dog's reactive to people or dogs, yes, you can control them with a head halter, but will you get the same kind of communication of, I don't want this reaction, right? I don't want this reaction or choice towards people or other dogs, and then start moving your dog into a more trained space where their actual state of mind, behavior, all that stuff starts to transform. Will you be able to get it? I don't know. There's a reason we don't use them, and that's because we've found prong collars to be more effective for our clients and more effective for us, and better and easier on the dogs in many ways. But I don't want to get down like a training comparison path with this. And trainers, please don't get into a whole big thing with this. Like, I beg of you, like, let's not make this a tool comparison debate. I'm just not down for that, and I'll probably ban and delete it because I just don't want it. What I want this to be is a conversation about a bigger picture, which is tools that people have found to be useful or might in the future find to be useful are now being removed, taken off the table, and they're losing those options. And I want owners to know that it's happening, and it's not just talk. It's not just drama. It's not just like, oh, this could happen. No, it's happening. And the most recent Toronto banning is just another in a line, you know, succession of other places that have banned the tools. And a lot of people look at that and they go, see, right? They ban those tools, and that means that those tools are bad. And so if you subscribe to the simple, non-critical thinking method of letting government organizations determine what's good or bad for you, or for your dog or for anything else, then that's a bigger conversation to have. But I'd really like everybody to contemplate, especially you owners. Us dog trainers are already aware of what's going on, but I want you owners to know that they are coming for your tools, and they'll probably find a way to, through your tools or otherwise, come for your methodology, approach, things like that. Just changing the tools changes what's available methodology and approach wise. So prong collars, who knows what's going to go on with e-collars, and the number of dogs that we've seen saved, turned around, able to live happy, safe, comfortable, reliable lives because of these tools is an enormously long list. And through all the trainer friends and associates and colleagues I have, I know the list is gigantic. And they're talking about removing that possibility based on an agenda coming from certain groups that are applying heavy pressure to get rid of these tools. So it's not based on dogs being injured by them, it's based on pressure from certain groups that are lobbying for these changes. So it's an important conversation, guys. It's an important thing for you guys to think about. It's an important thing for trainers to be involved in, but like, trainers are just a small number. It's really like, and I've said this over and over again, the real change, the real pressure that can be brought to bear to change any of this stuff, or stem the tide and put the kibosh on this is owners, or our owners. They're the only number, population-wise, sheer volume, that could apply enough pressure to change these kinds of things. But the problem is that owners aren't really aware it's kind of happening, like, under the radar, and a lot of owners just aren't. They've got regular lives going on, so they're not thinking about dog training tools and stuff like that. And unless they're using those dog training tools and then just found out they can't use them, or they don't have a troubled dog just yet, but stumble onto one in the next 6 months or a year, and then they find out, oh yeah, there used to be these tools that people used to be able to use, but they can't use them anymore. So I don't want to be a drama queen. Don't want to get everybody in a huff. Not trying to like turn this into a post of like yeah. Like I just want everybody to be aware of what's going on. I don't need like a dog pile here of like they're all a bunch of bastards and I really it's just not a helpful conversation. But what is helpful is if we spread the word that there are organizations that are looking to take your tools. They're looking to change your options. They're looking to take away your options. They're looking to remove your personal choice. Think about that, guys. They're looking to remove your personal choice of how you train your dog and what tools you can use on your dog because they've determined what's best. Who are they? Got to look into it. Got to figure out who it is. But that they don't know your dog, and they certainly aren't using these tools in any fashion, so they don't have any real experience with these tools in any real fashion, and they're coming for them. And so if something isn't done, most likely we're going to see this continually spread and continually spread and continually spread until owners are stuck in a situation with a lot of limitations of what they can actually use and not use on their dogs. So I want you guys to think about this. I want you to think about it not in your safe little realm of like, well, it's cool here. I want you to think about it as you just woke up in Toronto with a dog that rock and rolls on a prong collar and you can take everywhere and he's so well behaved, and now you can't take him on the prong collar and now you have to go throw that out or risk some kind of penalty, some kind of breaking the law. And then think about what that would feel like, and then think about that on kind of a grand scale, and then think about all the other tools, e-collars, things like that they're also looking to get rid of. And it's an important conversation. It's an important thing for us to be aware of. And I just hope dog owners, coming from us dog trainers and spreading the word to the dog owners, that people start to become active about this because it's going down. And pretty soon, be a lot of limitations, and a lot of dogs will end up suffering, being relegated to the backyard, locked away in crates, put to sleep, rehomed, just because of limitations based on people that are supposed to have dogs' best interests in heart or in mind who don't. And that's the real bummer. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Let's not make this a snark fest or a bash fest. I'm not interested in it. I just want to spread the word. So whatever you want to do if you want to share this video, spread the word that organizations are working their asses off to come for your tools and to change how you're able to train your dog. And if you want to hold on to that freedom and you want to have more options, you better take a look at what's going on and get active about it. Otherwise, they love inactivity. They love people not knowing. They love ignorance about the situation because it allows them to just like plow on through. So that's it. I'm gonna get out of here, let you guys do your thing. Share this video, pass it on, and see if we can't maybe do our own little bit of push and see if we can't create some change in a direction that I think having more options, more tools, more possibilities is definitely the better way for dog owners and dogs. So that, I'm out of here. Talk to you guys.